All right, all right. Welcome everyone to Chicago Clubhouse Midweek Bears Report. I'm Amp. I'll be one of your hosts this evening. We're going to do things a little bit different. We have a couple of people, guests that are also part of the Chicago Clubhouse team that I'm going to have on with me this evening. Again, they're part of the Chicago Clubhouse team, so you already know they're going to be spitting that fire. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to bring in right now, I'm going to bring in Crazy Ace, the man, the myth, the legend.
Yo, what's up,
Yeah.
everybody? How's it going? Your boy Crazy Ace here on
What's
this
up,
wonderful
Ace?
Thursday night. You know what I'm saying? And appreciate you, my brother. Thanks for having me on tonight.
Yes, indeed.
I was supposed to be
Yes.
in the background producing, but due to some last minute, stuff for people, people taking care of other stuff outside, right? We all got lives or whatever the case might be. So couldn't leave Ant flying solo dolo up in this joint.
You know what? Hey, much gratitude, Crazy. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get it though, Ace. We're gonna get it. We're not gonna miss a beat, bro.
Yeah. Hey, so we're gonna go ahead and make sure that if you guys are not already subscribed to the Chicago Clubhouse Network on YouTube, make sure you guys do so. Right, on Mondays we normally have fantasy football with Crooked Commish. On Tuesdays we have Chicago Clubhouse podcast. Then on Wednesdays it's supposed to it's Easy does it temporarily for right now. Until what's her face comes back. I can't remember her name because I wasn't here when the show was here before.
I think it's Kim. She said what she said.
Oh yeah, she said what she said on Wednesday. Hopefully, Los Bears down. Welcome, brother. And then on Thursdays, obviously tonight, right? We have the Bears Midweek Report, and then on going Fridays, as of right now, nothing. So. But you guys can always tune in to the normal shows as well as go back to look at them, as well as check out all our shorts and short form content as well. We always have stuff going on throughout the time, So yes, sir.
But most importantly, we love the fact that you're tuning in. So if you're on Facebook, go ahead right now and switch over to YouTube.
There is nobody on Facebook.
Then click that little button on the right that says subscribe. Click that button right there. That way, when you make a comment, we'll know your name, we'll see your face. You know what I'm saying? Please go to YouTube, like, subscribe, and enjoy the ride, baby. Enjoy the ride.
All righty, you ready to introduce our other guy here?
Yes. I'm sorry. Our next host. I'm sorry, Ace. Our next host is also, like I said before, is also a member of Chicago Clubhouse podcast. He does our fantasy segment. You know what I mean? The one, the only, Crooked Commish. My man, Crooked Commish.
Yo, what up, guys?
Hey, thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate you.
Oh, no doubt. Thanks for having me on. You know what they always say in the football game, right? Next man up. So that's what we're doing here. Is I'm the next man up. Other people had some family. It's the holidays, like Crazy said. Family comes into town. You hang in with the family and stuff. And then when that's all done and over with, the real people, the real hosts will be back. But in the meantime, like I said, I'm gonna step in Sugar and Vodka's shoes here.
Oh man, those some big shoes, man. No, I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you, Commish. We know you had it. We got it. Check this out. Your thoughts. I'm gonna go with you first, Crooked Commish. Your thoughts on that game Sunday.
Man, my thoughts on the game Sunday. I thought it was a grind. It really was. I thought they did good for the most part, at least for the beginning part of it. And then it looks like the offense, just like they always do, kind of just ran out of gas, and they couldn't do anything. I thought the defense played great. They played really, really good, lights out defense. They had some gaps there with the touchdowns with Amari Cooper there that kind of went up the sideline. But overall, they were pressuring Joe Flacco, getting in his face. They got multiple turnovers again. One of the touchdowns came from the defense. So I felt that defensively we played really good. And unfortunately, the other part of the game, the special teams, was terrible. Didn't have any explosive plays on special teams at all. And Scott, or not Scott, our returner, Tyler, ended up.
Tyler.
Yes.
Number 13.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, number 15. Number 15.
Number 15. What is
Yes.
his name, Ace? What is his name?
Tyler Scott?
That's what I thought. No, Tyler Scott? Yeah.
Oh, no, 18.
Right.
Tunyon.
No. Number 15. He came from Cincinnati. Taylor.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Never mind. He was the punt returner. Yeah.
He's a specialist. Right. He's a quote-unquote special teams ace. Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no pun intended.
he ain't no ace. I'm the only ace up in this joint.
True that. Mm-hmm. That is true.
Don't be giving Ace's title away. Don't be giving his title away.
Not the one that doesn't deserve it, baby. Mm-hmm. So, hey, you know what? Go ahead, Commish. Go ahead.
No, I mean, that was pretty much it. I think, like I said, the offense is still struggling. They're having just moments of where everything's kind of in sync and they're kind of clicking and rolling, but it's far apart and few between. The defense has gradually gotten better, and I think they're the ones that are keeping us in these games, obviously. And then, like I said, our special teams is just non-existent, really. So I'll kick it over to you. What did you think?
Consistently inconsistent. That's what I thought, man. So I'm consistent if nothing else, man. You know what I'm saying? Man, that game right there, that's number 3. That's number 3. They joined the club. They joined the club with who was it? Denver and the Lions. Mm-hmm. Double-digit lead in the fourth quarter. Double-digit lead in the fourth quarter.
Test.
What happened? Come on, man. Consistently inconsistent. And I got some more thoughts. I got some more thoughts on that, man, because that game, you know what, we knew. Matter of fact, I mentioned it last week, you know, on last week's podcast, that this was going to be a ground and pound game. You know what I'm saying? Seeing that front four, Myles Garrett and company, man. So I'm thinking, run the ball. Run the ball. Even though you know you got to go up against Myles Garrett, run the ball. You got to soften them up.
Right.
But right. I'm not Getsy. I'm not Fuss, because I'm never going to say his name correctly. I'm not Getsy, and I'm not Fuss. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So what do I know? What do I know?
You're showing too much respect for Getsy. I call him Gessy, because that's just all he fucking seems like his play calling is. He's just throwing shit at the wall and seeing
Man.
Bruh.
So, I think this will work.
I'll segue that to you, Ace. I'll segue that to you.
All right, so before we get into segue to me, let's see what Coach had to say real quick. He says, I would say our special teams is above average. The only thing that seems to be lacking is punt return. Taylor's not a game breaker. He's just a guy who typically doesn't muff or fumble punt returns well, except for this weekend.
But Coach, that doesn't sound like that's above average right there.
Hey,
Prince Anna
fumbles all the time.
And then Diab's other point was, well, I'm saying our kickers are above average, our punters is above average. Wait, but I'm saying our kickers are above average, our punter is above average, and kick return team we turn is pretty average. Yeah.
So, Really?
I think it's
so. I have a rebuttal, or you wanna take that, Ace? You wanna take that?
Well, first, look, I honestly I don't like our punter to begin with. He's probably got one of the. He doesn't. He's got one of the lowest averages as far as punts go in the freaking league right now. So either way, so my thoughts on the game were like, look, a lot of people kind of didn't really expect the Bears to win, right? And I felt like this was the Detroit game all over again. Like we go in, we're like, oh snap, this is possible. Like we're playing well, and then all of a sudden it's like a fourth quarter collapse, man. I was going around and a couple people's podcasts or whatever the case might be, and talking about how the Bears they played above average, if I'm going to take some coaches this thing right during the game, but then they've had they had so many missed opportunities. You know, you talk about that field goal that, like, you know, it was 50-50. If the wind was that bad, if they were going to actually kick into the wind, regardless of a leg, chances are that he wasn't going to make it. If supposedly Santos was out kicking it, he was out at the 50, kicking from the 50, and it was landing in the middle of the end zone. It wasn't hitting the goalpost. And then think about this was before the weather got bad. So as the game progressed, you know what I'm saying? Like the wind, the rain, or whatever. So I get it. Like, again, it's 50-50, man. Like, they could have tried to go for it and missed it, or they could have tried for a Hail Mary. Either way, still don't think they fixed Justin Fields' stat, because he really only had one interception. When you looked at the review, that motherfucker hit the floor.
Yeah. But let me double back on what you said about that field goal, that non-field goal at the end of the half. Check it out. The weather when the game started was precipitation. When it started, by the halftime, that was nothing but wind. Man, check this out. You kick in Soldier Field, but you know what? I don't, as Coach Chef was talking about, our special teams, all we need is, you know, I'm saying a kickoff return. No. It's either Santos or it's the coaches, right? Because like you said, Ace, it's a 50-50 chance. Which one do you think we had a better chance of completing? A Hail Mary at the end of the half, or Santos trying to kick a 55-yarder? With no precipitation, because it wasn't raining.
But if the wind was blowing in harder than what you expected, or whatever the case might, like, you got to trust your kicker at that point, though. But at the same time, you got to trust, if your kicker came up and said, like, hey, it's not ideal to try to do this kick, like, you got to trust your kicker too, man. Right? He's the subject matter expert.
We need another kicker. We need another kicker because he kicks in Soldier Field. That's that swirling wind coming off the lake.
Teams is garbage.
And so, hey, you know what I'm saying? Let's just keep it a band, man. Let's keep it 100, man. Straight up, and check it out. I cannot blame it all on him. Yes, does he have the strongest leg in the league? Absolutely not. Check it out. But when it comes to making decisions like that, man, check this out. You got to pull the string, man. You got to have the you know what I'm saying? There's ladies watching the show, but you got to have some. You know what I'm saying? Check it out. We're trying to win. We're trying to win here. You know, and that's 3 points. How many points did we lose by?
We lost by 3. Trust me.
I'm just saying, man.
At the same time, like, I just felt like, you know, and then again, there's just a bunch of decisions, like, and we'll hit later, like, just, I don't understand, like, how do you call good football for 3 quarters, and then you decide to change stuff up at the end, like,
because his coaching staff. This coaching staff, I know the answer to that. They know more how to lose. They know more how to lose than they know how to fucking win. They are more used to losing and fucking up games than they are to winning and trying to figure this shit out. They just don't. Yeah. They don't know.
It's just so frustrating, man.
Who takes the foot off the neck
from their mistakes?
That's what I'm about to say. And then won't own up to it. You know, me personally, I'm tired of hearing Fuss talking about we're building something special here. I'm tired. Check it out. That defense right there, check it out. Paul's put that together. You know what it's missing? It's missing a 3-technique D tackle, and it's missing another DN. That part will be finished. And we'll get to the offense. Check it out. To keep Justin Fields upright, we need a left tackle, a young left stud tackle, which we'll grab in the second round, and we need a center. Everything I just mentioned, everything I just talked about, every play I just talked about, we can get in 2024. So that'll be the second year of the real rebuild, because we know last year was the tank season. So everything I just mentioned, we have the capital to get in 2024.
I don't even think you have to say. I don't even think you have to call it a tank season. Like, we knew last year was like a rebuild. Like they didn't have the talent that they have this year, right? And regardless,
that was on purpose, though, Ace. That was on purpose.
I know. I mean, think about it. We had to fix the cap.
That's called a tank, man. That's called a tank,
dude. We had to fix the cap. Think about it right now. If Poles didn't go and get rid of the people that, like, contractually that he got rid of, like, dude, we wouldn't have the cap to be able to do what we needed to do. Like, be real with you. Like right now, we probably would have never have picked up Montez Sweat. We probably, if they do decide to extend Jalen Johnson, probably would have had money for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Bears could look completely different if they still held on to this team. Now granted, did I want some of them players to freaking go? No, of course not, right? But like at the same time, it's the nature of the business, and like, you know, it is what it is. But the Bears right now are on an upward trend, and so to me, impose we trust. I mean, that's just me though.
Absolutely. I concur, man. I agree with you. Ace. I trust him. You know, it's not him that I'm worried about. You know what I am. I'm not gonna get into that. I'm not gonna get into that part. Go ahead. What is Coach Jeff said?
Hold on.
He said, "How many kickers kick 55-yard field goals outside the crappy conditions?" Remember, 32 kickers in the NFL.
I understand. No, actually, hold on. With that, I feel like 50-yard field goals nowadays in the NFL Warren. Are like 40-yard field goals.
It's like 40.
So 50-yarders aren't like, ooh, that's a big. No, 60-yarders now.
Warren, we're going to come back to your comment.
Field goals.
Who is this cat? Who is this cat in Atlanta? Who is this young cat in Atlanta?
Young Koo?
What the field goal? I'm talking about the field goal kicker. Yeah. So it's not like it's not like kicking a 55-yarder, like you said, like something out of the norm nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Even in the elements. You know what I'm saying? Plus, come on, man. Come on.
Us playing where we play too, we do need a kicker. I get it. We need an accurate kicker, but we do need one that has a big leg. If we can find a kicker that's accurate and a big leg that can cut through the wind and hit some of these 50-yard field goals on the regular, I get it. You're not going to make them all, but hit them.
Doesn't he have like 3 field? Doesn't he have like 3 50-yard field goals on the season? I'm almost certain he does.
Does he?
He does.
I'm almost certain he does.
But he does. He does have 3. He has 3 this season. But the thing is, check this out. When we need you, like I said, it's more. The percentage is greater of him scoring 3. You know what I'm saying? At least trying than trying to Hail Mary at that point in the game. Come on, man. And you grinding it out. This is a pound and ground game. So
you're right, but then either way, or where they were though, right? And I'm playing devil's advocate here, okay? Like at where they were, it's either damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? So even if you had a higher chance to maybe make that field goal in those conditions, like I guarantee you the percentage, right? Even if they do now that they're using AI to kind of predict, right, or where they were trying to go or whatever the case might be, like. I guarantee you the percentage was that much more different with the conditions trying to kick versus trying to do a Hail Mary.
Do we know how long those field goals would have been?
Yeah, I was just about to go ahead, quicker commiss. Go ahead.
I'm just curious. I'm almost certain it was a 55-yard field goal.
Okay.
And like I said, he was kicking from the 50 and it was hitting in the middle of the end zone, though, in the weather, what it was right there.
In the rain. At halftime, it wasn't raining. I watched the game twice. At halftime, it wasn't raining.
You still have the wind, though, too, man. Like
you kicking Soldier Field every week. You kicking Soldier Field every week.
You gotta kind of look at this like perspective.
I'm looking at points. Points that were not put on or attempted to be put on the board by an inept coaching staff. That's what I'm looking at. So we can debate.
Right. But they didn't do attempt. They did attempt. They did attempt to get points, just not the way we wanted.
Yeah, check this out.
I'm just saying, dog.
Hey, can I say something real quick as far as like?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I have to say, I think it was clearly obvious with DJ still our best threat, but whatever was nagging him, we could clearly see it on the field. Yeah. He was not the same explosive DJ. Yeah. After the first play, he limped back to the sideline. So going forward, I'm hoping this doesn't continue to linger and make it cause us more serious.
It's from the game before. And he got hit in the ribs. No, he's not good. But you know what? He's a baller. He's a real baller, man. He got out there.
So he had to go, and actually, I think it was after the first. He had that first big play, right? The first play was towards him, right? Mm-hmm. And then he actually had to go and sit down for a few plays because and then he got back out there. So I mean, like I said, man, he's a baller, dude. Like you're saying.
He's
Let's
a
get to some of
baller.
these comments real quick before we head
Go
into
ahead.
these game grades. So obviously, Warren, we agree with you that Getty sucks and he got to go. We know that, right?
Yeah.
And some of if some of you guys, I think we're listening to 670 this week. Dan, why they're saying that people are blaming Getty and he's not all to blame and blah 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 blah. Like that's garbage.
What?
Oh,
What?
we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Repeat that. Repeat that, Commish.
Repeat
that, eh?
Dan Wilder said that he doesn't feel that like that all this blame is going on Getty and it's not on Getty and it's on Fields.
Okay.
And I'm all like, bro, people have been
Ridiculous.
blaming Fields like the whole season and just now started putting the onus on Getty within the last few weeks. So like he needs to stop. But that's pretty much the story.
I mean, have you been tuning? First of all, we appreciate you tuning in to the podcast. Let's not get that twisted. You know what I'm saying? But
he's actually an announcer. He's a writer, and he was on 670 The Score. Yeah.
I know Dan Wilder. Yeah, I'm saying. I'm saying. He lost his mind.
Oh, they have conversations off the record that they tell him that he takes onus. I'm like, bro, off the record taking onus and in the media taking onus is two different things, bro.
It's two different things.
Yes,
it's two different things. Bullshit. Regardless of what he said in the locker room.
Complaining about, but. Warren Smith, real quick, the defense got tired. Like, hey, bro, we agree. Like, all those quick 3-and-outs didn't help the defense at all. Like, they did what they could do. There were some questionable calls in the fourth quarter, and then again, once we sit up,
but
a little bit.
That right there, hold up on that defense got tired thing. That's the point. That's the point. When you're going up against a defense like Cleveland's defense and the Bears, the way they both was playing, that's the point of running the ball. So you can't that's the point. You got to wear them out. Somebody's got to wear somebody out. And Cleveland stuck with it. That's how a 39-year-old quarterback was able to beat us. That's how. They kept pounding and kept pounding, even though our defense was stout for 3.5 quarters. And what happened? It wore them down, man. It wore them down.
Honestly, I just think I don't even think they wore them down. I just think like they got tired in the fourth, but it was more so because it was just too many 3-and-outs, man. Like, dude, we barely had any time of possession in the fourth quarter, so the defense didn't have time to rest. Right. I don't think Cleveland did. Cleveland didn't do anything special. Cleveland didn't do anything special for those 3 quarters. They didn't.
It was simple.
But those 3-and-outs in the fourth quarter is what hurt. Yeah, but Uncle Rich coaches are garbage. All right. These refs need to start calling these hits on quarterbacks. This is getting ridiculous. Look,
yeah. The one at the end of the half.
Yeah. Well,
he took a shot at the end of the half. First Hail Mary.
Talked to him, and then, dude, if nobody's seen that Dallas Buffalo game, Dak literally slid, got hit in the head, and he got a flag.
Hit in the head. Yeah.
And he got a flag.
I
don't understand how. You can go ahead and give that to Dak, but you can't give that to Fields, man.
How many times have we seen Fields slide feet first and get the snot knocked out of him?
And you know what I keep getting told?
With no flag.
Well, once he's out of the pocket, he's a runner at that point. I was like, man, y'all need to stop that shit.
It's almost as if the refs think he hasn't earned it yet. Oh, you haven't put enough years in the league yet to get that call.
But you know what?
Which is
it's the same mentality is why Cam isn't in the fucking league anymore, man.
Thank you, Aiden. I was just about to say that.
If you want to go on that hit was long gone, and it wasn't as bad as Jim McMahon getting hit, right? But dude, like that's what took Jim McMahon out of the league. If you think about it, McMahon wasn't the same after that freaking hit in Green Bay. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. The coach is still on the kicker, indoor kicker. He says, anytime you talk about indoor kicker 14 that plays indoor, I know his percentage is outdoors. You got to try that field goal. Like I said, hey, Richard, they agree. I'm still 50-50.
That's Mr. Chicago. That's Mr. Chicago. That's right. That? You got to go for it. That's Mr. Chicago. Yeah, man. You got to go for it.
I didn't recognize the picture there, this thing, so we're good. But if they would have called that roughing the kicker, that would have been shorter. You know where they missed the play at is Cleveland converted one of their 3rd downs or 4th downs, and they didn't call the holding on JJ.
Jalen Johnson, the cornerback.
They didn't call the holding on him.
And they converted.
And then I think they scored.
So they scored a touchdown.
And they scored a touchdown, which was crazy.
What about this one? When the receiver caught the ball and was out of bounds and Puss didn't challenge it. And you don't remember that? It was a sideline catch, right?
By which
1 foot was in, and his left ankle was out, was on the white, and everybody was like, challenge it, challenge it. Well, of course, the announcers wasn't seeing it. Everybody in this household, and probably the rest of Bears fandom, was saying, you got to challenge that, and he wouldn't. And they ran up to the line of scrimmage. They lined back up and ran the next play. If anybody's out there that remember that play, comment. Tell me that I wasn't the only one that
I don't
seen
remember
that.
it.
You
So
remember
it was
that?
a waste of a. No, I don't. Let me
It
read
was.
this here. It's a waste of a drive. Should have kicked it plain and simple. That's why we pay the damn kickers. No excuses. Even Tucker was missing this year. Yeah.
The refs helped Cleveland in the game big time.
That's no surprise.
There's a few questionable. I'll say this: there's a few questionable calls that should have got this team, but the refs at the end of the day didn't play as much of a factor as like the Bears pretty much shooting themselves in the foot.
No.
The thing the refs are always going to make occasional bad calls. Like so, I mean, there's bad calls either way, but we're not a team that's good enough to overcome those bad calls.
Oh, there goes
because I know there's now, like I said, I know there's other teams that are getting penalized and get a setback on drives and shit like that, but they still are able to overcome it. Or if a ref misses a holding call, they're still able to overcome it and stuff. But we're just not. We don't have the coaches for that to be able to figure that shit out.
Thank you, Commish, because it's not the players. It's not. All
right.
You know what I'm saying? But we'll get into that.
Yeah. All right. Hey, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna lead this into the game grades for the offense, defense, and coaching, right? Mm-hmm. And so I would say, Commish, if you want to go ahead and lead us off, like, what were your grades for those three right there for the game?
My grade for the offense, I would give like a C minus, being generous. I want to be like a D plus, but like a C minus, just because if we think about it, the offense only scored 10 freaking points because there's a pick six. So in 4 quarters, and Justin had a total of 166 yards the whole game. He threw 40 attempts, and Flacco had 44 attempts, and the yards differences is completely different, like night and day. One guy's up here, the other guy's down there. So
well, go ahead. They're your grades, but go ahead.
So
in defense,
the defense, I'll give a B, a solid B, if not a B plus, and stuff like that. The pick six, multiple turnovers, pressure on Joe Flacco all day, pretty much. Like I said, there's the few times where he didn't get pressure is where he ended up scoring or making big conversions and stuff. And then the coaching, I'm gonna give a D minus. Like it's just like we talk about all the time. They blow their load within the first few 15 scripts, like of JB and all them are saying. And then after that, they got nothing because the halftime adjustments come, and then they don't know how to adjust. They don't know how to figure it out. And that's when Gessie is just throwing shit on the wall. I'm like, I think this screen will work. Oh, well, we tried the screen on the left side, but they won't fucking figure it out if we try it on the right side. Think about it. And then, of course, we fucking get tackled for a loss. It felt like –
all right.
Hold on real quick. Just my last point real quick. It just felt like the Cleveland's defense was in our backfield so many goddamn times this whole goddamn game. Just like they knew what play was coming, and they were getting our running back as soon as he was getting the ball. Or a quick screen or a little handoff as the receiver was running by. Sniffed it out. Knew what the play was coming. Too goddamn predictable. Go ahead. I'm done.
Okay.
All right. So for me, I would say offense. Man, I'd have to give it like a D plus, man. And the reason why I give it a D plus,
D plus.
Yeah. Okay. And the reason why I give it a D plus is
D
because, well, you got to think about it though. You got to think about it. Like for whatever reason, the running game has regressed, blocking has regressed. Mm-hmm. Like, dude, you're not helping your quarterback if you can't sit there and come up with those catches. Like field stats can be completely different if 2 catches are made. at the end of the day. And I'm not even talking about Mooney's catch either. Like Fields should literally have like 260, 270 yards for like 2 touchdowns. Easy. But all right, or 3 touchdowns. Think about it, right? Because he had one with Cole Kmet. And then like, yeah, I don't know. It's just not there, man. Like Kamish said out. For whatever reason, they get like 2 series where they're like really good scripted. And then after that, it's like, okay, let me pick this one. Okay, hey, we're gonna go ahead and do this, right? Granted, there hasn't been a bunch of screen passes, which I'm okay with, right? But I think they called like a couple screens, and I was okay for screens at that time. Oh, he comes in right when we're talking about grades. Hey, look at that right there.
What's up, Coach?
He came to make the grade.
Finally made it
go
home.
Ahead. Ace is not done.
No, all right. So defense, hey, look, honestly, I'd give defense an A, man. Like an A-, honestly, for the way that game played. Like, dude, they held out until the very end, and I honestly think it's the offense didn't put them in a position to hold out in that fourth quarter by not being able to like run the clock like they were supposed to. And I've been saying this, and I said this before when I've been on with you guys. There's a difference between playing to win, right, and a difference to freaking you're playing because you don't want to lose. There is a difference between those two. And then coaching, I'm just gonna give a coaching a straight F, man. Like, I'm sorry. Like, a matter of fact, I'll give it an F plus. Just for the simple fact that the defense was able to go ahead and like, hold out this thing. So Flu's kind of helped with the defense because they're a little bit elevated, but at the same time, they're still not all 4 quarters. But yeah, man, the defense was like the bright spot on this whole game, and I just think that the offense just let them down, man.
All right, Coach Jeff.
Go ahead, Amp.
Okay.
F plus for. So he got. So did you give the coaches the F plus for attendance? They made the game, so that's why they get an F plus.
I'm loving that though. I love that. I absolutely love that. Anyway, I get the offense a C-.
Okay.
I'll give them a C-. They were going up against a stout defense. Coaching was in that. Yeah, I get offense a C-. Yeah. I get a defense, man, because of the coaching, man. Because of the coaching. You know what I'm saying? I get a defense a D. I said a D.
As in dog?
As in dog. A D.
I was about to be like, pause that though.
Yeah, you want me to explain that?
No,
I'll explain it. If you like, we got a minute. Okay.
Yeah. Ace, where's the record skip? Where's the record skip sound effect?
Hey,
I don't have it working right now.
Anytime, like I said, that was supposed to be a ground and pound game. You know what I'm saying? Mano a mano. You know what I'm saying? That's a D, and that's some coaching, but. I digress. That's another segment. Anyway, and coaching, I give him an F-. Yeah, I give him an F-. F as in Frank minus.
Keeping it real.
Oh,
yeah, real talk.
Failure.
Yeah, real talk. Coach Chef.
Hi guys again. So since we're down on grades. I'm going to give the offense a D because they turned 14 points off of turnovers into points, but that's misleading because our free safety got it to the 1-yard line. It took 8 plays plus a phenomenal play by Justin Fields to score a touchdown, and then the other touchdown was by but the points off of turnovers was that's a return interception. And then we can't capitalize. Yes, we're playing the number 1 defense. And I wanted to say something prior when we were talking about offensive defense when I was listening to you guys on my way home. I guess he had like one drive where I was like, wow, these play calls like have something.
Yeah.
I think when they ran a couple plays with Bayless and the play call, I was like, oh my goodness, I think he's got it. And then it went straight to the shitter again, obviously. So I give the offense, and then not performing. Justin threw for under 40%. I know they're playing number one defense, but just the combination of offense with the coaching. So the offense in general, we didn't stick with the run. We didn't kill clock. I'm going to give the offense a D. I want to give defense and a B plus. I would have given them an A, but that fourth quarter, that second half of that fourth quarter was just execution. Yes, you can blame Flus for some of the play calls, but you still have to make the plays and get to the pass rusher when in those fruits are down. Joe Flacco, a veteran quarterback, he's played in these games before. 3 interceptions is not going to deter him from keep driving the ball down the field. He's going to make a play because he's done it before. The guy has Super Bowl ring. No matter how old he is, that guy has enough experience to where those 3 interceptions, those are out of his head. It's like being a cornerback. If you're a veteran corner, you get beat in the first quarter. You're not a first, second year cornerback. You're going to let that go because you know you can make that play later. He just kept throwing the damn ball. So the defense, for that matter, and then not executing, I give them a B plus. Coaching, Getsy always pulls it down the past like 7 weeks. Getsy just makes the overall coaching like a D plus. Like, Eberflus called a pretty outstanding game until the DB blitz with Justin Jones. Coverage. And the sad part is Justin Jones even says, like, I don't practice drops, but you talk about fundamentals. So, like, you call a play that the defense, like, they know what to do, but you don't practice depth, and he's trying to, like, well, maybe I didn't get deep enough. Maybe I didn't see him coming. If you call that play, but you don't work on that play with your D lineman for depth based on formation, then that's on you for a coach. Like, yes, the defense has to get there, but that's just the wrong time to call that play. Call that defensive call. I get it. You're trying to switch up, whatever, but I don't know, man. I don't remember even seeing that particular blitz from Eberflus. I haven't seen that much this season where you're dropping a guy like, I'm not saying you dropping a defensive end compared to a D tackle. You haven't seen it. So I give the entire coaching staff a D plus. So I give what? Offense, what I say? Offense D plus, defense a B plus, and coaching a D plus, just because Getsy, bro.
I think that all averages out with all our grades.
If you talk about you attempted field goal compared to the Hail Mary. I was only saying about Carlos Santos that we have a pretty above average kicker, and yes, his range is limited in conditions, but he still only missed 2 field goals the whole season. I would take the shot just because that's what you're playing for. The Hail Mary success rating is lower than him hitting from 55 yards in fucking condition.
It's 1%.
That's what I said. That's what I said.
No, I know. I was agreeing with you. I was just saying that.
Okay.
You had said earlier. You had said earlier that we needed a kicker. Like, until he sucks, I mean, you gotta. You can't get rid of a guy who's making it.
I'm not blaming one single player this season. I'm not. I'm consistent. I'm consistent. Hey, what I need you to do, Ace. Hey, you know what I'm thinking. What I'm going with, Ace. Can you do me a favor? Richard Stewart, that's my older brother. What did he say?
Hold on. Special teams is
fire
garbage.
Everyone.
I think that.
That's everything he said. I'm not tripping.
Yeah, special teams is garbage. The kicker is an above. Punter is average to slightly below average.
Our kicker is average. Our kicker is average. We don't have a punt returner. We don't have a real punt returner, man. I mean, I think what is the
Trent
kid
Taylor?
One?
There's a difference between being average and being garbage. Like, we lack explosive plays. In fact, that's a explosive personnel issue, right? That's a personnel issue.
That's what you want out of special teams. That's what you want. We want your gunner to go down there and stop them and hit them. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to you, Chef. We want your gunner. The gunner gonna do his thing. I'm talking about on the return side.
I get that. Right. I get that. So our issue for the past 2 years is inconsistency for punt return, right? So we have a guy who has explosive potential, but he can't secure punts. So you have to go out and get a guy who can secure punts until obviously this past week, but he lacks explosive playability. So now you're playing it safe because you're trying to negate mistakes. So, and then he's not functional on offense. So now you have a punt returner who's taking up a spot only to do one thing. And when he's on the field, we always run the ball. So, and active, that's a personnel decision. But yet, and still, we still haven't had any punt returns that have been fumbled and turned back over to the team. So, him, even if he fair caught every single punt return, I would call that average because we're not getting turnovers. That by definition is garbage.
Are you talking about somebody like Cordell Patterson? Somebody like that?
No, well,
but he's not a punt returner. Dude, he's not a punt returner. No. I said that 5 years ago. I know we weren't together, but I had this battle 5 years ago when the Bears had him. Just because a guy's great at one form of returning does not mean he's great at the other. That's why guys are not dual in this league a lot.
Man, I understand all of that. I understand all of that, Coach Jeff. I understand all of that. You don't get rid of a true punt returner to bring somebody in that has showed nothing, absolutely nothing this season, man. Come on. So if it isn't Cordell Patterson, excuse me. If it isn't Cordell Patterson, it's definitely not this young man. It's not, and it's proven.
It's a proven. He's a
proven in what? Coach, hey, Crazy Ace, what's his average? Crazy Ace, what's his average?
Cordell Patterson has his entire career.
I want to hear that.
Or Cordell Patterson?
Taylor.
Cordell Patterson doesn't have a collective 20 punt returns in his career. No, correct, not 20. He hasn't had a collective 50 punt returns in his careat. Not kickoff returns, punt returns. Those are two different games.
Yeah.
I'm not.
So which one are we great at? Which one are we good at? Kickoff or punts? Which one are we good at?
Also kick returning in this day and age with the rules and stuff is really difficult because the game is trending not to get kick returns and with the 25-yard line and kickers getting to kick it out of bounds. So that's I think even in the league, the total kick returns this year is like the worst it's been as far as return yards, return touchdowns. It's the lowest it's been since practically they changed the rule. So that's kind of like, that's
the players are safer now.
Yeah.
How's that working out for us? How's that working out for us?
What you mean? You can't think of a team in the NFL who's great at kickoff return. Who's that team? We don't know because
Ace. What's his average?
So I can't. So right now, let me see his kick.
I like how people take what I say and they spin it. I said very clearly. I said it.
The numbers. I'm not spinning anything, Coach.
No, I'm not talking about the comment.
Coach.
He's not about the comment.
I said clearly he is a secure punt returner well up until today. That's like saying we play. Say we end the season and Taylor's been the punt returner for 18 games, and say he's just been an average guy. He returns a couple for 15 yards. He does a lot of fair catches. He doesn't fumble. Then he fumbles the last 18. He fumbles this week and he doesn't fumble anymore. He's garbage. Like if that's the case, then everyone's garbage for making any mistake at any time. The kicker's garbage because he.
All right, so here we go. So real quick,
go ahead.
You can't have
the numbers don't tell half truths. The numbers don't tell half truth, Coach. Go ahead, Ace. Go ahead, Ace.
All right. So as of right now, as a punt returner, right, he has 20 returns for 158 yards. He averages 7.9 yards. His longest was 31. He had one that was plus 20. Right. Last year he had 33 returns for 340 yards, and he was averaging 10.3 on Cincinnati.
With the Bengals.
But so.
But
the statement I made was the punt returner.
Yeah, all he was trying to say is that look, like he's an above average returner. Like to me too. Like, dude, if you can go ahead and you catch fucking punts and you don't muff the shits, then fine. I mean, it just so happened that
How many has he muffed? How many has he muffed?
2 this year, 2 last year.
Just two.
This year, 2 last year. And before
are we going to be prisoners at the moment?
And before that, he didn't have any up until 2018, 2017, when he had one each. So he's have a total of 6 since 2017.
Until he got to the Bears.
No,
last year,
He's had a total of 6 and 2 with the Bears. It's still
it's a coincidence. 6 point yards, 6.7 point yards a return. And he's average. He's
gonna remember football.
Man, he's average. 7.7 yards a return. But we have more. I said that.
The commissioner just give his grades. No, my comment wasn't for you. And my comment was for people saying that our special teams is garbage. That statistically isn't a fact.
So I'll say that for sure. As far as like, I just don't think he's anything like special or anything like that. Like,
he's not special. He's out.
But no. I'm not even sure if he's average, because just like, okay, if to catch the punt, fair catch it, that's like a bare minimum. And if you're telling me like, oh, that's all he's good for is to do that, because the 6 yards of return isn't crazy, isn't really good. And granted, it's not all on him. The blocking's got to be good coming, down the field as well and shit like that. But I don't feel like we're going to get anything explosive out of him at all. And the whole reason why we drafted Velus Jones is because they thought, hey, here's a guy that's going to be explosive in the punt return. And it's obviously not fucking working.
So
out
as of right now, Trent Taylor is actually like what's
the NFL average?
He's just above like middle of the pack.
Middle of the pack. It's
right
32
now,
teams.
Look,
he's 32 teams.
No. Listen, as I'm saying that though, right? Because there's more than 32 players on this list that I'm looking at. So where is he? Right now, let me see. Where is he at?
You got to base it off of total punt returns.
Yep. And the guy who game is going to be different either.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like right now he's at 7.9. See, it won't give me an average. I'd have to do a whole bunch of math right now, whatever the case might be. But where he sits, I would say where he sits right now, he's just about average. He's just about about the middle of the pack, or just above it.
Okay.
Because there's people here who's got like punt returns, but they're averaging literally like 5 yards a return, 3 yards a return. Dude's played 14 games and averaging 4, 12 games and averaging 3. So, like, there's people that are worse than him.
So there's just not many return yards in general.
As much as I love special teams, as a former special teams coach, as a former special teamer at several levels, as much as I love it, I didn't want to spend 35 minutes listening and also contributing to special teams alone. That would
Hey, check this out, Chef. Coach Chef, it's 3 phases to the game. So we're chopping all this up. We're chopping all this up.
I understand. I just think that us spending this time on it is kind of like a moot point.
Yeah. It's never mute. When you talk about these Bears coaching staff, it's never mute, bro. It's never mute. Straight up. I said I'm consistent, if nothing else.
Bro, y'all are a trip, man.
Yeah. Hey, I love my co-host. I love my co-host.
Where's your helmet at? Where's that helmet at?
Yeah. I guess we're gonna go. Instead of doing my sweet and vodka moment, we're just gonna do Bears under fire. You know what I'm saying? Bro. We're gonna do a special segment today.
Go ahead.
Just for you, Coach. All right.
I'm with it.
All right, y'all. So check this out, right? We got these Bears under fire right now. And let me tell you, I don't want to take away from Amped Up, right? But I'm going to be dodging and weaving because that's what, it seems like they're doing this week. Flus is bobbing and weaving. Freaking Getty is bobbing and weaving. Even Fields doing a little bobbing and weaving. They're checking all these fires and whatever the case might be, trying to save their jobs. At the end of the day, though, there's got to be a lot of accountability, and that's what there hasn't been. No accountability whatsoever. They just started to within the last, 2 weeks. That's what's frustrating. I really hope that the Bears get it together, that they get rid of Getsy. And I just hope one or two things is going to happen. I hope that if Getsy and Freak, they're not tying Fields and Getsy together at the end of the day, right? Because if they get rid of one, they might get rid of the other. And same thing with Fields. If Fields ties with Flus, they get rid of Flus, they have to bring in a new QB, and it doesn't have to go hand in hand like that, right? Does it suck that he has to go ahead and probably learn from a new OC? Yes, right. Third OC, since being here, but now we're literally in Cutler territory, Trubisky territory. Something's got to freaking work because obviously the now Pose is going to sit here trying to dodge all these freaking bullets that's coming towards him, especially with him possibly having, 2 top 8 picks. So we'll go ahead and see from there, but I'm not going to take him the time, my Bears on the fire segment right there.
All right, Ace. All right.
Salute you, Mike.
Thank you for serving. Thank you for serving.
Real
talk. real talk. Yeah.
Oh, cheers to that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Go ahead.
Is that a Morse?
Toast them, Coach Jeff. Go ahead.
Is that a Morse? Oh,
that is a Morse.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Dude, I'm going to Chicago Tuesday. T better be ready because I'm going to be stopping by his house Tuesday morning. Be like, yo, you better give me some real quick while I pick up
where's
my
that
kids.
4-pack? Ask him for that 4-pack.
For that 4-pack,
Yeah.
According to Frank, it was a 6-pack.
Yeah.
I was
Bro,
about to buy that.
I think Frank made it a
Bro,
6-pack and kind of
you
snagged
see-
2 other beers.
Hey, if you watch the Tuesday show, Ken was about to be like, a 6-pack? What the? He was about to go off on Terrence and everything.
He's like, I don't even like drinking beer, but hell, I'll take 2 more of those.
Let's before we get into amped up, let's
Well, I think
do
we
predict-
the Bears. We got to do Bears into Cardinals right now. We'll introduce
Right.
real quick the
Mhm.
Bears into the Cardinals or whatever the case might
Mhm.
be.
That's what I was about to say.
So let's see where we at. Bears, Arizona. So currently, right, we're sitting obviously at 5-9. Game's gonna be a Soldier Field afternoon game, and then the Cardinals are currently 3-11. Matter of fact, what I'll do is we'll bring this up real quick as we're talking about this game. They did.
What?
All right, so here is the game, right? So currently, offense is almost even. We're 22nd, they're 24th. The defense, they're 25th. We're ranked 14th. Passing, we're about the same. 27th Bears, 29th for the Cardinals, and then rushing, we're 5th.
They're
and they
seventh.
are
They're
7th.
seventh at 131.
So with our record for what they are, you can almost say that aside from we have a better defense that dude, we compare to the fucking Cardinals. You know what I'm saying?
They haven't had their line for the most of the year. 3 or 4 different starting quarterbacks, including a quarterback who started against us with the Vikings.
Dobbs.
I didn't get to do my breakdown of them statistically. I just know that they have weapons and speed, a lot of short, small, quick guys. Yeah. And once again, it's the Bears defense taking advantage of a guy who's a lot more mobile than Joe Flacco, because we got the sacks. We've been getting sacks. We've been averaging 2 interceptions per game the past 3 or 4 weeks. I just think that this week's focus needs to be on corralling and containment. That goes back to the thing that Eberflus talks about every single freaking week. Fundamentals.
I'm going to share something. I'm going to share something if you don't mind real quick. Hogue went and put out a video, and I put it in the chat. Pretty much the cornerbacks coach, Hogue talking about fundamentals and stuff like that, right? Is it on right now? Yeah. So we're gonna add this. I actually got to stop this real quick, and then share screen. I got to share it so that way we get the video. Twitter.
Go ahead. Do what you have to do, Ace. Do what you have to do, man. Go ahead.
There it goes. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna sit here and listen to him as he says this. And John Hogue breaks it down what his responsibility is and what he needed to do.
All right. So it was my position. I take full responsibility. I got to continue to educate Terrell and get him to understand.
Talking about Terrell Smith, the cornerback.
It was a over route from the other side. Part of that education for me with Terrell and all these young players, formation recognition. Number 2 is their guy. Number 2 by design is an X. He lined up as an S. And we had talked about it during the week, but it's a young player saying, oh, this is where he's at. These are the type of routes that I might get. That's where I have to do a better job and continue to educate him. He's over there for a reason. He's out of position. So when he's over there, have awareness. Play goes, right? And really, Smitty does a decent job. He gets his width, he drops, and then his angle. He's got to understand his work is going to come to him. He doesn't have to go. Joe Flacco's going to throw it out in front. The last place Joe wants to throw it is behind. He's going to throw it out in front. So just know where your work's coming to you. You don't have to chase it in there. It's going to come to you. And then if you can't get the ball, then you got to go through the receiver. So that's my responsibility.
If he was looking at the QB, he might have been able to intercept that ball before he even got there, or at least deflected it.
You know what?
That's what I think he saw it too late.
I heard all of that. I got all of that. The real question is, where's the real accountability? Because the head coach being the defensive, I'm about to tell you, the head coach being a defensive coordinator watched them be lined up like that. At that point, being a defensive coordinator, you know he's focused on defense. Call a doggone timeout. They're lined up incorrectly. For this play.
We only have 3 of those.
For this formation, they're lined up. He just said it. Why you shaking your head, Coach?
No.
He just
what
said
he's saying is what he said. Look, everyone had a guy. Terrell Smith was just he was over the wrong guy.
On the wrong guy.
But
right. So the defensive coordinator didn't know that. The head coach didn't know that. The head coach couldn't recognize that from the sideline. Is that what you're saying? He's not supposed to recognize that.
Not the wrong defense. You call a timeout.
I didn't say the wrong defense. I said he was lined up the wrong way, and the head coach didn't recognize it from the sideline.
But the players realized that, and then they adjusted to go and cover where they needed to. Right? So, I get it that like Terrell Smith was supposed to be over on the other guy, and the corners were technically supposed to be flip-flop because
total opposite side.
Terrell Smith is a good coverage corner. However, right, the other players adjusted to go over what they needed to, and then at the end of the day, they played it. Like, but what Hope was trying to say, hey, he has to do a better job to make sure they
at that point call a timeout. Call a timeout. If you see him lined up wrong, what you shaking your head for, Coach Jeff? What you shaking your head for? Whatever, man. Call a time. What do you mean? You don't call a timeout if you see your DB on the wrong side of the field. What are you talking about? No, what? No, what? No, whatever.
That situation. If you listen to what he said he didn't get whipped. He missed it literally by 2 yards. So what you're saying, the only way you call a timeout.
How many yards did he get? Did it matter whether it was 2 or 20? Did it matter? I disagree. Man. I disagree.
Completely off. So what happens is, once again, we go back to sometimes football happens.
Man, miss me with that. Miss me with that. Real life. I'm not today, not today, bro. Not today. Read some of the comments.
Real quick.
But the reason
you can't call a timeout necessarily all the time in situations like that because we only have 3 of them. But hold on, real quick. The players on the field, if they recognize and say, "Hey, okay, you're off" or whatever, they're communicating with each other. Say, "Okay, I'll get your guy. You watch my fucking guy," and that you could communicate amongst the field. If you have a leader like an Urlacher on there saying, "Yo, adjustments, we're switching this shit up." You don't need to call a timeout just to communicate like that.
You know what, Commish? I totally agree with you. But when you talk about a coaching staff that'll take three timeouts into the halftime, don't tell me about they can't call a timeout because they're in the middle of a play. I'm talking about the coaching staff.
Right.
I'm not talking about the player. I'm not talking about the player.
They were just
right. This falls on the coaching staff
to be in. But that's what we're trying to say, though.
And I understand that. And I say, this falls on the coaching staff. Again, we coach them. We ran this play. We run this play. We run this defense in practice. And he should be over here. And he should cover him. But he was on the opposite side. Where does that go? Where does that come from?
Right, and that's where Hulk just said. But Hulk took that accountability, and that's what he was saying. Like, hey, I need to do a better job as a cornerbacks coach to go ahead and tell him, like, hey, this is what you need to do. And it's learning. He is a rookie, though.
What is the hit? Exactly. And don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I love him. I love that pick. I love him. Don't get me wrong, man. I'm not ragging on the kid. I'm not.
No,
I love him. I love that pick. It was a great second round pick. I'm not ragging on him at all. I'm ragging on the coaches. Again.
So I think the point is, so the thing is just the way. So this is what like me and coach are trying to say is because we're like, where's the accountability? Like there is an accountability. Like the cornerbacks coach is taking accountability for like I have to do a better job of coaching him for him understanding angles.
It's accountability. And your head coach is what? A defensive coordinator. So that's who takes the accountability. You know what I'm saying? That's who should be taking accountability. What? Why are you shaking your head?
Why do you have assistant coaches? Why do you have assistant coaches? Why do you have assistant coaches?
I don't care. I don't care about none of that, Coach Chef. And at the end of the day, your head coach is in charge of all that. He takes control of all that. If Gutsy is calling the wrong offensive plays, your head coach can get into his head and say, "Hey, run the ball," which he has not been doing. I'm just using that as an example. So what I'm saying, as the head coach, he can say, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what? The kid's on the wrong side of the field. You know, is he that locked in? And if he's that locked in,
I mean, he probably did say, but by then it's like it's too little, too late.
Okay. What do we have in the comments?
Each coach, each position coach has their interview time. They're responsible for that thing. So Eberflus is not going to cover every single mistake in his time allotted. So each individual assistant coach he can only talk about what they coach. You don't expect the DB coach to talk about the mistake of a linebacker, just like you don't expect the DB coach to talk about the mistake of a wide receiver. They have the allotted time that they're given to answer questions and to rebuttal the things that they see or the things that they're asked. So yes, he has to be accountable because that's his position group. The head coach has to, as a person who runs things, and you've run things before, you take accountability for everyone, obviously. But when it's a time for your assistants or people under you to take accountability, you have to allow them to take accountability. And then you come full circle in your coaching meeting and you say, look, we got to clean this up. But if you have to cover every mistake, if you have to cover every mistake of every position group, you just waste the time. He didn't have an hour to talk about this shit. All the shit Eberflus got to talk about, we get it. We're very critical of Eberflus. But at some point,
we all are. Don't get me wrong. But I was just showing. The whole point of that was just showing, like, hey, I really liked how, like, the cornerbacks coach was calling out a one specific play where they scored, and it was like, hey, like, this is where I have to do a better job, and this is where he has to do a better job, etc.
It's the first time I heard that this season. That's the first time that I heard a coach on the Bears, be it the DB coach, be it the O-line coach, be it the quarterbacks coach, take accountability.
Getsy's done it the last 2 weeks, where he semi-threw shade, at Fields last week, and then Flus has been doing it more or less, right? Just not as consistent as we would like to hear. I'm just saying. I watch the pressers. I'm just saying.
Yeah, me too.
Right, you do watch all the pressers. I ain't gonna lie. There's some. The DB coach did a much better job orientating what happened than Eberflus typically does. So I'd rather hear the DB coach anyway.
Oh, I can't even. Dude, Eberflus's answers is worse than coach talk.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
I can't.
It's not even coach talk anymore.
I don't know if any of you watch this show. So I'm a huge Dan Leather fan, right? So every week they've been doing it for the past maybe 4 or 5 seasons. Is that they have a segment called, they do it on Wednesdays because it takes time. They call it the useless sound montage. So one of their producers on the show, they compile all the interviews from every player and coach of the week, and they do a montage of things that just sound ridiculous because, sometimes football talk is so repetitive. We got to keep pounding the grindstone, and it sounds repetitive from every team. And if you ever listen to it, it's the funniest shit you've ever heard. And so that's what you get from Eberflus. Or my favorite person in useless montage is my man from Pittsburgh. He does oh my goodness, it's beautiful. Tomlin. But like all the coaches and players, quarterbacks, all these people, low key, all 32 teams, they all sound alike. It all sounds like droning noise. If you ever listen to like all the interviews for a 5-minute segment,
they sound like NPCs. Like you hit a certain button. Oh, we just need to play better. We just need to
exactly. We just got to keep pounding and grinding, pounding and grinding. We kept at it. We kept hacking at the rim. We kept talking like everybody says the same shit.
Yeah.
What do we have in the comments, Ace? What do we have in the comments, Ace?
In the comments right now, we got, can you believe it's cheaper to fly to Carolina and get tickets to a Panthers game than it is tickets to a Bears game? Yes, I know it's like 45 cents.
Yes, I can't believe that.
Yeah.
Yes,
It was like ridiculous, man.
Yeah, we believe that. We believe that.
I was dying. Eberflus needs to be fired. I was on the fence, but this defense is so bad in the fourth quarter. I given up hope. It's not okay. So I'll take this one, right? I get where you feel like the defense is bad in the fourth quarter. It's not so much the defense itself, but what is being called to hold the team, right? Like, why are we going to a prevent defense, bend not break mentality when we have 10 minutes left in the fucking fourth quarter? Like, we just started the damn fourth quarter.
When you was playing man the entire game.
Like, you go and
you
change things up or you adjust at the wrong time. So I'm not going to say it's the defense, right? But the defense itself, it's the coaches.
It gets burned on the blitz.
and then we want to change it up in the game time. Like, bro, like, why did that? But that's where it is. That's at. So real quick, we're gonna go ahead and head into Amped Up.
Oh my goodness!
I thought we did that already.
No, we didn't. We never did that. See, there's a difference between him being revved up and then him being amped up.
Touche, bro.
I'm just a substitute. What the hell do I know?
Yeah. That was a good one. Yeah, I like that. Check this out. I'm amped up. You already know. When this segment started out, it was pick a different subject, pick a player, pick a coach every week, right? We're beyond that. I'm tired of the excuses. I'm tired of we're building. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of taking our foot off the throat. I'm tired of that, man. This is the third team this season. That's 3 wins. Right? That's what we just got through talking about. We was playing man for three and a half quarters. All of a sudden, you want to go to prevent. You want to go to cover 2. Why? Straight up. And then the kick is at halftime. And me and Coach Shep can disagree about this. Man, you go for that, man. The more likelihood that you make the field goal than you don't, then you would make a Hail Mary. What are you taking your foot off the throat for? And then when I'm talking about we're building. I'm tired of hearing that in the presses every week. We're building. Check this out. If you're watching like I'm watching and we got single win seasons for 2 years in a row, we're not building. And this nonsense about is Justin Fields, guess you gotta build the offense around Justin Fields' skill set. No, we need an offensive coordinator. Check this out. And when he goes, so does the head coach. Fields stays. JF1 stays. We have a quarterback because nobody will be talking about trading for a quarterback if we didn't have the Panthers' #1 pick. Nobody would. Check this out. We have capital. We have draft capital. Everything that JF1 needs, we can get. You know what he don't need is that coaching staff. Check it out. I don't hear accountability. I'm tired of hearing that. We're building. You're not building if you still have single win seasons for 2 years in a row. And yeah, this would be JF1 third offense. Hey, give it to him. He can take it. Just don't let them coach him another year. Man, that's it, man. I'm amped up about that, man. He's so weird.
Thanks for telling us how you really feel. Yeah.
Man, I was trying to hold back.
Chest. I love it.
I was trying to hold back, bro.
Eberflus is building. He's building
I'm
for another coach.
every week. I'm amazed every week. This man every week. I'm amazed he can give that level of contention and anger and not follow that bother.
You my guy, Coach Jeff. You know you're my guy, man. We may not always agree, but you know you're my guy, Coach Jeff. You know that, right? Straight up, no doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt, man.
Every week I'm just like, how does he not curse? How does he not curse?
Yo, and it's funny because Coach literally says that like every time too. It's like, bro, I don't know how this dude even don't curse, don't do nothing. Like, good Lord.
You remind me of Coach Prime. It's like you think in all the words that are called the curse words, but not curse words actually.
That's it. No
profanity. Like, you mother suckers.
Yeah, that's right. You're like, oh, you mean it? That's how you know. That's how you know from the heart.
It is, man. It is. You know what I'm saying? I get a little pumped up. I get fired up, but it's real, man. It's real. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead, Coach.
What do you have? What do you have on deck for the next segment, Ace?
We're gonna go look over the schedule real quick.
Yeah, we have about 30 minutes left or something like
that.
I want to. Because this is the thing. We want to. Well, not necessarily. Just I want to get you all's opinion. So obviously the national media is the thing, and you hear it from all the networks and everything. And the national media is the national media, so of course they're not directly focused on Chicago stuff. But even in Chicago, whether it's 2, 5, 7, 32, or 9, whether it's ESPN 1000, 670, is we have this thing where people are so indecisive about what we should do or what they think, not what we should do, but what they think should happen. And it's just so it's never been a time as a Bears fan where we have so much uncertainty about the future with our quarterback. I know by the time of the end of the I can just think in my current memory, there hasn't been any quarterback that people have been praying to bring back. If it goes back to my earliest memories of watching football, whether it was Eric Kramer, but he had the issues with injuries. If it was after that, if it was my man from UCLA, not my man, but the UCLA kid they drafted, who
Cade McNown.
Cade McNown, who we couldn't wait to get rid of him, and then we went on a cycle, and then we had Rex Grossman, but he had the interception thing, and then after that it was another circle of just random guys, and we got the Cutler, and the Cutler thing was always his inconsistency with play callers, and he throws interceptions, and he can't stay healthy. Like, we've never had a quarterback in the past 20 years who's played every single game in the season. None of them. No quarterback has ever finished a complete season with the Bears. I want to say Cutler. I don't think Cutler ever played a 16-game season. Maybe once or twice. So let me not put that out there. But he's always, there's always 1 or 2 games. And even now with Michigan, he was hurt, and then he couldn't throw the ball deep, and he's too safe. And you see where he is now. Do we ruin him? I always said he was never worth the first-round pick, and now we on JF1. But I've never seen more conviction from fans that are saying, we think we have the guy, but we just have to do more. And then you hear from other Bears fans about, oh, well, how much help does he need? Check this out. If you look at all the winning teams on all these rosters that are bound for the playoffs, what do they have before they have a quarterback? They had an established coaching staff, organization, and weapons. We could talk about Brock Purdy leading the NFL in touchdowns. Check this out.
I don't think Brock Purdy MVP conversation.
They're winning because they have some of the best talent surrounding him in the NFL. In the past few weeks, the Eagles haven't played well, but guess what? They still have weapons surrounding their quarterback. Every team, yeah, I know, man, I know. You've been repped up all day too. Every team has weapons. Like, you don't need all-pro guys, but the Bears don't have any Pro Bowl, all-pro guys on their team. Like, we have DJ Moore, who's outstanding. Has he been a Pro Bowl? Has he ever even been an all-pro? No. We don't have the certified talent that garners us being a winning team on the offensive side. And that's just another fact. And until you have those guys, those what do we call them before Ace? Those certified what's the term they use? bona fide talent, all pro type talent guys.
Blue
They're not going to be progressive. Blue chip, there you go. Blue chip guys.
You want blue chip players, yeah.
We have the potential for blue chip players, but we don't have them as far as right now. So with all that said, the national media, or you hear guys like Tannenbaum, who I can't stand, because I'm like, when you had a chance to be a GM, you sucked at it. Who's like, you got to reset the rookie scale. Check this out. Here's a weird stat. In the past, since 1998, there's been one quarterback taken with the number 1 overall pick who's won a Super Bowl with the team that drafted him. Right. You all know his name.
Right. That's right.
Peyton Manning, 1998. He's the only quarterback since his draft class who's been drafted number 1 overall who won a Super Bowl with the team he drafted.
Not just number 1 overall, but in the first round.
No, not that first round. Just top three. Every quarterback taken number 1 overall, none of them have won a Super Bowl since 98 with the team that drafted him. You could say Matthew Stafford didn't get a Super Bowl, and he was traded to the Rams.
Yep.
The success rating on first round overall quarterbacks is like 30-some%. Even top 3. You talk about hey, relax. You revved up like my son. All my sons is trying to be like me. They just go around imitating me all the time. Patrick Mahomes was what, the 10th pick? Joe Burrow got the Super Bowl, but guess what? He lost the Super Bowl, and they haven't been that competitive since. They haven't got to AFC Championship. Having the number 1 overall pick and driving quarterback does not guarantee you anything because the stats prove it. You have all the quarterbacks now. They're like, well, you have to have a guy on a rookie scale. All the teams in the playoffs right now in playoff contention, none of their quarterbacks are on rookie contracts except for Brock Purdy, and he was a 7th round draft pick.
I'm going to count that as that "What's Cooking with Chef" segment.
There you go. There you go.
I just wanted to say, like, people have to understand that just because you have the first overall pick, it doesn't guarantee you anything if the organization and coaching staff is not in check. So things like, as much as we want to bring Fields back, statistically speaking, this GM didn't draft him. So the idea that he's going to hold on to him if he gets rid of the whole coaching staff is really a low percentage. If he gets rid of Eberflus, there's like a 95% chance they're going to get rid of Justin. Because that just doesn't, it's not consistent with teams that have done it in the past. Very few GMs have kept this quarterback that they didn't draft, but got rid of the coaching staff that they selected. No, they're going to start all over again. But guess what? This team is primed. This defense is primed to be elite next year. We need more talent around the guy we have currently to progress. And until we can be different than what we've been, we're going to have the same issues because nothing is guaranteed. I'm not saying Caleb and Drake May can't be good quarterbacks, but what gives you enough evidence based on coaching staff that we're going to hire the right coach? That the coaches are not wanting to change the scheme on the offensive defense. Hypothetically, just a random hypothetical. We get a head coach who's an offensive guy. He wants to bring in Williams. That's going to take another 2 or 3 years before we see any dividends. That he's going to be the one who's going to be the difference maker when your defense top 5. That sounds like what? That sounds like Mitch Trubisky to me. As much as we talk about how a player like he wasn't the difference maker. That defense was, and then guess what happened? When we needed him to be a difference maker, we had to get rid of him. You get rid of the coaching staff, you get rid of the GM. It's a perpetual cycle of bullshit. With the guy you have,
we're going down the same path that what we've already replicated.
I know we don't want to hear it, but to maintain what we have to give us a chance, you have to keep Eberflus. You have to give the offensive coordinator, because all you're going to end up doing is you get rid of Eberflus. I guarantee you they're going to get rid of Justin, bro. It doesn't seem to match what the plethora of the history of teams have done.
Real quick, I don't think this fan base will accept them keeping Getsy. I'll be real with you.
Exactly. Check this out. Where the noise is coming from.
He's got to go.
No. But what I'm saying though, that like, dude, there's a chance they get rid of Justin and they feel like Getsy's a guy and they get a quarterback this thing. Now you're trusting with Getsy. I'm just saying, like, there's a small chance. There's a chance for like a lot of different scenarios here. All of this noise.
First of all, check it out. Are we forgetting? We heard the same noise last year when we knew that we had Houston's number 1 pick. All this is coming. We have noise internally in the state and all Bears fandom, but we have extra noise because we have an extra pick, not just a pick, but the number one pick. This is 2 years in a row. So, of course, you're going to get that, oh, Justin Fields is not the guy. Oh, they take the number one quarterback on the board. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I'm used to it. It doesn't seem to be bothering JF1 because he knows this nonsense is coming. It's nonsense, man. And it's coaching. It goes back to coaching. Forget the outside noise because the outside noise is saying like it's Fields. It's Fields not picking it up, but it's Fields that's not picking it up. But you want him to play for another team. He'll be better off with another team and keep the same coaching staff here, and that'll make us what? I don't care. I mean, I've seen quarterbacks come and go. I seen it when the Bears drafted Rick Myers, for goodness sake. Gave up 3 first rounds for Rick Myers.
To add to this, I think Foulmouth said it best when he feels like people are spinning a narrative to get rid of Justin.
That's it.
For this thing, you had those 7 GMs that anonymously said that they would trade Justin. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, hey, bro, I bet you any money, those 7 GMs, I bet you 5 of them will sign them in a fucking heartbeat.
What?
Exactly.
What?
Exactly.
So look, that's all I'm trying to say, and I agree with you, Coach Chef. That's all I'm saying. Let him become a free agent. Let them cut him. Let them cut him and see how long he's out there. See how long he stays out there.
Ken Davis said it best too, man. He's like, do I want to see Justin in the Bears uniform? Yes, right. Would you continue to love watching him? Cool. If he goes and he gets traded and we end up getting like Caleb Williams or May, whoever, like, then I mean that's just the nature of it, right? Like at the end of the day, it is what it is.
Yeah, but we wouldn't be having this. What I'm saying, Ace, is we wouldn't be having this conversation if we didn't have that number one pick, man. Because they would be if the Bears was drafting, let's just say hypothetically, if the Bears had right now, if it's draft was tomorrow, and we had Panthers number 1, and we had our own pick, right? There you go. And we had our own pick at number, what was that, 5, 6?
1 and 5 right now. 1 and 5.
1 and 5 right now. Right? No one will be talking about getting rid of Fields. I'm talking about internally. Outside, because there's a lot of GMs that want him. You know what I'm saying? This is coaching, man. This, with JF1, with the defense, with the special teams, it's all coaching, man. And check it out. I don't mind starting over. Check it out. Don't get rid of one of your assets, like I said, because we do have the capital. Like you said earlier, Ace, we do have the capital to get exactly what we need. This will be year 2 with the building. We have all the capital we need to put around JF1. To build that offensive line and to build that defense up. We have it. So why not?
And I agree with you that if they get rid of him and they get rid of the coaching staff, it literally is a consistency of being inconsistent. Like you're consistently doing the thing that has led you not to be a winning organization, no matter who the GM is. Now, I was just going to say that I don't think that the GM and the organization is 100% on Justin Fields, because if they can't say that. They can't say it out loud because then it takes away the leverage they will have if they want to trade the first round pick. Because
they're going to say what they're going to say in front of the media. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm telling you, this is the same thing that happened last year. I think they are. I think they're 100% sold on them, but they're not sold on the coaches. I think Kevin Warren and Poles are not sold on those coaches, man. And that rah-rah every week, we're building, but yet and still, again, I said, we have single win seasons 2 years in a row, man. I agree.
I'm tired of hearing the same stuff. Or like, we're already at fucking week 16, man.
That's
like,
it, man. Come on.
We're done.
We're not gonna have. Go ahead.
We're gonna top that conversation right for another day, and we're gonna go ahead and head into looking for the remaining schedule. So we go ahead and look at what's left, right? So we know they play the Cardinals at 3:25 freaking Central Time in Chicago, right? Then they play the Falcons again at home on Christmas Eve. So Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. My bad.
New Year's
Eve, and then they go to Lambeau to play the Packers. So I would say we're just gonna go straight down. I'll go ahead and start it.
Simba is the son.
I think the Bears. I think they go 2-1, and I don't know if they beat the Packers, man. I'll be real with you.
That's pretty nice of you, Ace. That's pretty nice.
Right, go ahead, Amp.
That's pretty nice of you. We 0-3, baby. 0-3. With this coaching staff, we're 0-3. What, Coach Chef? What did I say, Coach Chef? What did I say, man?
No, I know your answer because I know you consistent as shit with yours. Like dead ass. He was like, he gonna hold on to that 1-4. He's like, no, I ain't changing. I ain't changing shit.
What about you, Commiss?
I'm hoping we go 1-2, and the only win I want is against Green Bay.
I'll take that, but
at this point, I don't want them to win anymore because it's just the playoffs it was a pipe dream to begin with. So, but now that that's officially, we put the stamp on that shit, put the cigarette on that ain't happening. There's no point in winning these games.
I don't think they've been officially eliminated. I think they're still in the hunt.
No.
Are you serious? No, they're 5-9. 5-9.
8-9 can get you in the playoffs if things go your way.
It would be as pointless as when we made the playoffs and we faced the Saints and Nagy's last year or some bullshit like that. It would be the most pointless thing to make the playoffs. It really
we don't really want to see that as a Bears fandom.
The only
we
game
don't
I
want to
really
see that.
want to win is Green Bay. If we can just beat Green Bay,
so these guys, they're not eliminated.
Make sure they don't get a playoff spot. That would be.
They're not eliminated in the playoffs, just so you all know.
Yeah, they have a less. They have if they win, it goes up to a 2% chance. They currently sit at a 1% chance.
100% out. 100% out.
Say, honestly, real quick, who's pulling for them to make the playoffs on this panel tonight on this podcast? Who's pulling for the Bears to make the playoffs? Right?
Playoffs.
Look, man,
I just want them to finish the fucking season so they can fire Getsy. That's all I want.
I try to wear 4 different hats. I try to wear my fans hat. As a fan, do I want them to make the playoffs? No. As a player, as a former player, high school, college, semi-pro, do I want to make the playoffs? Yes. As a head coach, or as a coach who's coached before at the high school level, do I want to make the playoffs? Yes. As the GM or decision makers, do I want them to make the playoffs? Obviously, no, because then you drop down. You drop down your own pick. But I'm going to be consistent. I said that the last 5 games they would go 4-1. Now, like I said, the last week I thought the one loss, I thought they would beat the Browns just because of the injury and the lack of health for the Browns. But I still had them lose against the Packers. So now I clearly have them winning out now because I'm going to be as consistent as Amp is. I had them going 4-1. I had the one loss actually being the Packers, so I have them sweeping. In reality, outside of me being consistent with my pick, they have to be. At worst, they got to be one of those 2 teams. They got to be the Cardinals or the Falcons at home in the weather. You're talking about Kyler Murray and that team on a horrible surgical grass. I don't care if they bring in Bermuda, or I don't care if they bring in Kentucky green. I don't care if they bring in Hawaiian 412 weed. I don't care what they bring in to run on. No one's ever been fast on Soldier Field grass.
It's trash.
The only person who's been fast on Soldier Field grass is Devin Hester. That's the only person who's ever been fast on Soldier Field grass.
That's the only person.
So you can't lose to. You definitely can't lose to these next 2 teams. Not 2 indoor. A team that plays in Arizona, who plays indoors in Arizona, and you can't lose to the Falcons. You can't. If you lose to Justin Ritter, if they lose to Justin Ritter under any circumstance, Evil Blues have to be fired immediately.
That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
I know it's not.
If they do, when they lose, that's not going to happen.
Here's the thing that's very unpopular. I'm going to say I can almost accept them losing to the Packers in a rivalry game than losing to Justin Ritter and the Falcons at home. If they lose to Justin Ritter and the Falcons at home, you get rid of all them of them. Like it's like what? What?
All right, y'all. So what y'all getting?
Well, this coaching staff knows how to fuck up a cup of coffee.
They beat the Panthers, and the score was like 7-6 or some shit. Like what?
Yeah. So,
all right.
So I think they're going to be. I think it's 30-20 Bears.
Wow.
Versus the Cardinals.
That's a lot of points.
Wow, that's a lot of points, man. Seeing that the over and under is 43.
Well, I want the offense of this team, but I want to say, like, look, regardless, they're not good. But the problem is that, like, for whatever reason, like, we just tend to just give up a lot of yards, man. Like we do, especially through the air. And we're playing Kyler Murray. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, he hasn't played his best since coming back, but he's still playing ball. So, I mean, that's where I think, and yeah, so that's just me, though.
It's like you said earlier, though, Ace, man, they're like 29th. They're like rated 29th passing. You know, it's the rushing what the Bears should be worried about. It's the rushing yard. They're ranked 7th against the run. So if they give up the pass, man, that would, again, my prediction will come true. It will come to fruition. You know what I'm saying? If they give up yards on the passing, saying that they're rated number 7 against the run, what? That's all I have.
What's your score? What's your score? I know you got them losing, but what's the score?
I do have them losing. The over and under is 43. I don't think we'll get nowhere close to that, man. I'm looking at 17-12.
The Bears are favored.
No, 17-12 Cards. 17-12 Cardinals. 17-12 Cardinals.
Yes. It's going to be a Santos State. Field goals.
There you go. He's got to make it up. He's going to try to make it up. He's going to be our only. He's going to be our only weapon, man. Yeah.
13-24. Bears lose.
13-24.
A lot of points. Whoa.
Yo, they 20. Oh shit. Well, I clearly have.
Hey, but
I clearly have the Bears winning. Even with Getsy, just his play calling me inconsistent. I just think that we have more firepower. Correction. We have enough firepower offensively than they have to stop us defensively. I didn't do my research, but I can't tell you any standout defenders on the Cardinals.
Kazarian White, 90 tackles for loss.
Wait, hold on.
Dennis Gardner,
you
5 sacks.
From Scottsdale. Who the Cardinals got on defense? Give me a star.
I'm in Indiana.
I just named two.
Huh?
The D tackle, Kazarian White. White.
Crazy, yeah.
Kazarian White.
There. I forgot.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Dennis Gudek. Dennis Gudek is the leading sacker. But it's the Bears, man. It's the Bears. So I'm just saying. There you go. Any given Sunday. Any given Sunday.
My prediction is this gonna be crazy. Excuse me for the pun, crazy commish. I'm gonna say it's a little
first off
scoring.
You kind of merged us together. He's crooked,
crazy,
and I'm crazy.
Yeah, crazy, and you got commish. Yeah.
I did.
Crossfires. You got his wires crossed.
Nice catch, Ace. Nice catch, Ace. That's a nice.
Hey, I'm all like, we're like this.
You know? Yeah.
Like trucks and cars, you know. That's a reference, Dragon Ball Z reference. My bad, crazy and crooked command.
There we go.
My prediction is
Fusion
31-24. 31-24 Bears.
Look, y'all look at me talking about a lot of points, and look what he just did. Like,
those of us on this side are low scoring points, and those of us on the other side.
I know, right? It was literally in the half or whatever the case might be. But hey, so let's go ahead and get some of these comments real quick because we got to go ahead and start wrapping this up. Let's see, where are we at?
We have some game predictions for sure.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to get to real quick. Let's see. Chef is right. Oh no, we already talked about that. All right, Caleb Williams, generational talent 2025. Joe Schmoes, generational talent 2026. Arch Manning is generational talent, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
I said this on one of my mini posts on YouTube and going back with other people. Every other year, the draft cycle brings on generational talent. Every other year, and then of those every other year, just 1 year where they're like, oh, no one's worth the first round pick. Every other year, everyone's generational. Check this out. I like Trevor Lawrence, but in the past 4 drafts, if you was Joe Burrow taken in the past 4 drafts? Okay, if you take the last 4 drafts, all of these guys have questions still. Every guy in the past 4 drafts,
Trey Lance.
They all have questions. No one is certified. The certified quarterback in the past 4 or 5 drafts is Joe Burrow. Everyone else still has, he's trending up, but like Trevor Lawrence, he's playing well, but then he had a 3-interception game. So there's like, we got to stop with this. And that's a media thing. Like, so much goes into quarterback and then just your talent. It's your situation, your GM, the head coach, the talent. This is still the ultimate team sport.
And the next one, the next comment. My bad. Go ahead. That's okay. Hey, you're on point. You're on point, Coach Jeff.
But not for long. I'm hoping they go 8-9 and make the playoffs. Easy's like, I want to make the playoffs. I don't care. Warren says 28-7 Bears win.
Yo, you keep the Cardinals for 7. That'd be amazing.
And then Jeremy was like 31-21 Bears. They'll be up 24-7 in the fourth. Got to they give up those points in the fourth. And I can see that too. And then this time they win it.
All right, Jeremy. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Jeremy's Murray throws future here. It's like you see this episode.
Okay. All right. Touche.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
wait. Hey, Ham, did you have anything on the betting line?
I do. Real quick. The over and under. The over and under is 43. The Bears on the money line minus 218. You bet $20 on that on the money line. On the money line, you win $29.17. On the spread, the Bears are minus 118. $20 with that will get you $36.94. The card spread is minus 102. $20 bet. Straight get you $39.60. The money line for the cards is 180 plus 180. I'm sorry, plus 180. $20 on that get you $56. That's only for kicks and giggles.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all for letting me come on. I really do appreciate it. It's always fun talking Bears football.
It was awesome, man. I appreciate it. You know, like I said, I was supposed to be in the background today, and then I couldn't leave Amp flying solo dolo.
I'm hands on deck.
I'm in 4 fantasy leagues, and I didn't make the playoffs for any of them.
Okay.
Ours, like semifinals right here, baby.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Y'all like NFL week. Y'all got like 30-something teams or something.
What about you, Quick Commish, and your fantasy? What are you doing, real quick? What are you doing? What are you looking like?
My payments did not clear. The checks didn't clear. Apparently, I wasn't able to make it to the next round. So I have to work on that. I got to see where that money went to. So because it's not in my account.
Understood. It's understood. Check this out. I'd like to thank, first of all, producer extraordinaire, Crazy Ace, my man, my brother. Appreciate you. Crooked Commish, thank you for coming on. We wanted to get you last week. We got you this week. Appreciate you, brother. Much love. And definitely my co-host, my brother, straight up from another, Coach Chef. Thank you. And to everybody out there listening, we thank you for tuning in. Straight up, like, subscribe on YouTube. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Feliz Navidad.
Merry Christmas, y'all.
Hey, I want to double down on the thanking everyone, and I also want to double down on like and subscribe. Look, I know it sounds like we begging, but guess what? We are. Look, the algorithm only works if you like it. Like you have to. This isn't. So the social media network is like tipping at a bar. You don't want to do it, but it's common courtesy to do it. Okay,
hey, before we go off,
it doesn't take much. You're already watching. Just hit the thumbs up so that other people can do what you're doing right now, enjoying us talk shit about the Bears. We want more sponsors. We want more support. We want more growth, and we can't get that growth.
Tell a friend.
Mm-hmm. Tell a friend. We can't get that. You watching is enough, but guess what? It'll be more than enough if you also like and watch. So yeah, we're hustling and begging. Yes, please like and subscribe. Please.
That's right.
Hey, did you just say sponsored? That leads us to the segue to our next thing.
There was a time when high standards prevailed, when excellent craftsmanship was displayed and treated with the utmost importance. A acquire the crisp, refreshing taste of Moore's Beer. Moore's Beer. Raise your standards.
All right. Yo, so
Drinking the Pilsner tonight.
drinking the Pilsner. So, hey, just real quick, though, thank you, everybody, to all our sponsors. We really do appreciate you. To Moors, to In the Zone. You guys are greatly appreciated for everything you do. And for everyone who stood in tonight, commented, Easy, Warren, Jeremy, Easy Sports Channel, Mrs. Crazy Ace Wifey was in the chat, Los Bears Down, Richard Stewart. I'm missing one real quick. Preciana Brooks, right?
There you go. Yep.
Oh, it's Princess Anna. It's set together. So my bad.
Prince Anna.
Prince Anna.
Yo,
Okay.
Amp, you live, bro. You got the whole squad in the chat.
I know, right? Like, he went put his foot down. Like, hey, nobody do nothing in this house but watch this YouTube tonight. I'm just saying.
And be sure to subscribe.
If not, I'm gonna turn off the internet.
Yo, Amp, I ain't gonna be surprised one week you gonna have your ex-wife in this bad boy.
Nah. I couldn't go without you. I couldn't go without you, Coach.
Hey, but
I couldn't go without you, baby.
Hey, we got to go ahead and we're going to call it a wrap. Hey, if you guys are still watching, tune into Easy Does It. He's actually going to tune in here in a few minutes, so make sure you catch him live. As soon as we go off, he's going to go ahead and come right back on. So,
okay.
Yep, he's doing a Thursday show for whatever reason, so make sure you guys go catch him. With that, we bid you guys adieu, and we'll holler at y'all later. Peace out.
All right.